January 2016. You're standing on a beach in Germany. The fog is heavy, and ahead of you on the sand is a shape that shouldn't be there. Massive, dark, motionless. You walk closer, and you realize what it is. A dead sperm whale. You look down the coast, and there's another one. And past that, another. Over the next 6 weeks, 30 sperm whales wash ashore across 5 countries, and not one of them is sick, starved, or injured. They're healthy young males, the ocean's most powerful predator, stranded in the one place it doesn't belong. And this was not the first time. Sperm whales have been beaching on this same coast for centuries, in the same place, with the same ending. The deepest diving hunter on Earth, caught in the same trap, over and over, and nobody can say what keeps drawing it in. A sperm whale finds its way through senses far sharper than ours, mapping the ocean in a way we never could. For its entire life, that map holds. The North Sea is where it breaks down. The water feels familiar, yet the whale loses its place in it. The animal navigates with 2 systems at once. The first is echolocation. For roughly 20 million years, it has ruled the deep ocean, diving to around 10,000 feet on a single breath, into pressure of more than 2 tons on every square inch of its body. Down there, in total darkness, it hunts using sound. Its clicks reach 230 decibels, the loudest sound produced by any living thing, far louder than a jet engine. Those clicks fire outward, bounce off everything around it, and come back as a detailed 3-dimensional map of the water, the seabed, and its prey. In the deep open ocean, nothing escapes it. The second is a magnetic sense. The whale is believed to read the lines of Earth's magnetic field like a built-in compass, knowing where it is on the planet without a single landmark. In deep water, those 2 systems work together. The North Sea turns both against it. It sits on the European continental shelf. At its deepest, it's only around 650 feet, and the bottom slopes down so gradually, a deep diving whale can travel a long way in before anything feels wrong. A soft, sandy seabed barely reflects sound, so the returning echoes break up into noise, and the shallows read almost like open ocean until the floor is suddenly right beneath it. For the first time in its life, it's effectively blind. The coastal geography is thought to distort the magnetic readings too. Both systems start feeding the animal bad information at the same time, and by the time it senses the danger, the water behind it is already too shallow to turn around in. Researchers have a name for this place. They call it the sperm whale trap, and the term has been in scientific use for decades. An animal that can survive the pressure of the deep ocean cannot find its way back out of a shallow shelf. We understand how the trap kills. What no one has solved is why the whale enters it at all. Scientists have spent decades on that question, and they have narrowed it to 3 leading ideas. None of them is settled. The researchers who study this still openly disagree, and the strangest of the 3 is also the hardest to rule out. The 2016 whales had been feeding. Their stomachs were full of squid, but not local squid. These came from far to the north, in colder water than the North Sea, well outside the region where the whales died. The whales had been tracking that prey north, the way wolves follow a herd, covering long distances to stay with the food. But squid don't stick to the deep. They drift into shallow water, where the whale's sonar starts to fail, and a whale locked onto a meal follows them in. By the time the hunt ends and the animal tries to find its way back out, the trap has already closed behind it. This is where it gets stranger. In the weeks before the 2016 strandings, 2 solar storms disturbed Earth's magnetic field. A researcher named Klaus Vanzelo at Kiel University in Germany has spent years arguing that this is not a coincidence, working through several centuries of North Sea stranding records to look for a link. His proposed mechanism is unnerving. A solar storm can scramble the magnetic readings a whale relies on, shifting them by as much as 280 miles for about a day, and the whale has no way to know it's being lied to. That daily shift is about the same size as the real magnetic landmarks it steers by, and a sperm whale covers only 60 miles a day, so the lie reads as solid ground. Its internal compass is simply wrong, and it has no reason to doubt it. Young males make this worse. They spend their early years in warmer waters near the equator, where these disturbances are weak, so the first time one swims north into a scrambled magnetic field, it has never felt a false reading before. It keeps swimming in the direction its compass insists is correct, straight into water too shallow to escape. It is a compelling idea, and it's genuinely contested. Vanzalo's own long-term work links only a minority of strandings to magnetic activity, not all of them. And other researchers who tested the same theory against strandings in New Zealand, the United States, and the United Kingdom found no reliable connection at all. So treat this as a serious hypothesis, not a verdict. Sperm whales are among the most socially bonded animals on the planet. Young males travel in groups for years, communicating through patterned clicks called codas, and they have been observed behaving in ways consistent with grief when one of them dies. So when one animal becomes disoriented and turns toward shallow water, the others tend to turn with it. Every one of the 30 whales that died in 2016 was a young male, roughly 10 to 15 years old, and they came ashore in groups. A bachelor pod that had been moving as one died as one. The leading interpretation is that healthy animals followed disoriented ones into water that killed all of them. An animal this intelligent dying because it wouldn't leave its own behind? These strandings are not a modern problem. The North Sea has been collecting dead sperm whales for centuries, with written records of the same event in the same place going back hundreds of years, long before solar storms or sonar were anything humans could measure. And these animals do learn. Sperm whales pass knowledge between generations. Mothers teach their calves where to feed, how to hunt in the dark, which routes to follow. And yet no warning is ever passed down. A whale can't warn its young about a trap it never knew was there. The danger is real, but it never feels like danger, so the same thing keeps happening. When a sperm whale strands, it doesn't die quickly. In the water, its body is weightless. On land, it's one of the heaviest animals on Earth. A grown male runs about 60 feet and more than 40 tons, the weight of a loaded semi-truck and trailer pressing down with nothing to hold it up. The organs are slowly crushed under their own weight. The lungs are pinned. The heart strains against a load it was never built to carry. With no water to cool it, the body begins to overheat. The process takes hours, sometimes longer. This is the part researchers can explain completely. And there's one detail the scientists who have witnessed a stranding keep coming back to. The other whales do not leave. Pod members still out in deep water stay just offshore, within sight of the ones dying on the sand. They go on calling, the same patterned clicks they use to stay in contact at sea. Whether they understand what's happening to their stranded pod members, no one can say. But they hold there until it's over. It can dive deeper than any other animal on Earth, and it dies in water shallow enough to stand in. Built so perfectly for the crushing dark that the shallows are the one place it cannot read. Lost on the same coast since long before we had a word for why. This is one side of the sperm whale. In the next story, you see the other. Out in the deep, where it belongs, it's one of the most feared hunters in the sea. And there's a moment when it begins to hunt that makes everything around it go silent. The video on why the ocean goes quiet when a sperm whale hunts is on screen now. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and I appreciate it. See you in the deep.